In this video, we're going to explain to you the Travelers tab that exists inside the planner page of your trip. So, as you are here, as long as you had the tab view showing on the right-hand side here, you will be presented with all these tabs. The Travelers tab is where you have all the travelers that are listed on this trip. If you need to add more travelers, you click here and just start typing, and then it will start scanning your CRM, and if they are not inside your CRM, just click add new, and then you can just simply put first name, last name, and primary email address for this person, and once you click save, it'll automatically add them to this trip. Right next to it, you have the export button to where you can simply export all these different type of lists. Next to these, you have these three pink buttons. Send message button allows you to go ahead and put a subject of a message that you want to send out to the whole group, the content of the message, and as long as you have the travelers' primary emails and telephone numbers, you can go ahead and send out a mass group message by email and by SMS texting. It's very useful if you need to relay something very quickly to your whole group. You can also segment this out by using the TWID number. The TWID number stands for Traveling with ID. If you click this, everybody that you've associated with the number 1 will show up on their own here. So if I've associated the TWID number 1 to these 5 travelers, what is a TWID number? A TWID number is located right here. It's simply segmenting smaller groups within your whole group. So say it's a family of 5. Say it's 5 people leaving from Orlando as opposed to other people leaving from JFK. So as long as you associate a number like the ones I've done down here, I've given these 5 travelers the number 1, I've given these 2 travelers the number 2, and so on and so forth. As you can see, 3, 4, and 5, and I can keep adding TWID numbers so that I can make smaller groups within bigger groups. What's the advantage of this? Well, besides wanting to send specific messages through this button, with the TWID number, you can go ahead and create an invoice and just add that TWID number of 1, and it will invoice just these 5 people on it. So adding a TWID number in relation to groups is very advantageous. Right next to it, you have the PBID, paid by ID, to where you can go ahead and dictate if one person is paying for another person. So you would just go here. So if I want Quincy to pay for Lisa, I would click here on Lisa. I'd scroll to where Quincy is, and now Quincy is now paying for Lisa. So this is PBID, paid by ID. So let's go to the Send Forms button. Over here in the Send Forms button, you can go ahead first of all and select one or multiple forms to send out to your travelers. Click out of here so the drop box disappears. You can go ahead and start typing their email addresses or their names, and it'll start auto-populating this person. You can go ahead and put a message over here of what you want the subject to say and the content of this, and then you can go ahead and send out these forms. What is the advantage of sending a form from the trip? That means that when they respond to that message and submit that form back to you, it gets attached back to this trip, and more so right here to the received form, so you can easily access those forms that they have resubmitted back to you when you sent it out from this trip. Copy form links is another way of sending out forms by basically just copying the links of each of these forms, and you can send them through your work email as well. When they respond to it, it will sync it with this trip, because everything you send from this trip is going to have this trip code on it. As we look at the specific travelers here, all these different columns are here for just quick views. You can see the profile account number of these people. You can go ahead and see their email addresses very quickly and copy them. You can go ahead and see all the invoices that are in their name by hovering over it. And here you can see different functionalities for the invoice that's in this person's name. You can also see the reservations, the reservations that are not invoiced, the reservations that are invoiced, what they have paid, balances due, any supplier credit or company credit, and then again these other drop down fields that we used up that I was talking to you about up here, putting a traveler status and also using the roles drop down for lead client, secondary client, or not determined. On the right hand side you may see this little icon of a mobile phone, meaning that if it's red, this person has not downloaded the Planet Easy app, and therefore it is red. If they have, it'll show green. And then right above it you have an action wheel where you can do some quick actions on this profile. If you need to edit a person's profile very quickly, you can do so by just going here. If you want to create an invoice from here, you can. If you want to send a form to the specific person from here, you can also do it from here. And you can also delete the profile as well. This button here simply expands this page, and then you can just unexpand it. And this is an explanation of the Travelers tab that's inside your planner page of your trip.